Now, the $1,000,000 question. How did you transition and how did you get into Burn Bootcamp is what the world wants to know. That's the $1,000,000 question right there.
Props to Monica. Monica BA in Kenosha. I was personal training at the rec. I wasn't making enough money to be able to support myself. So I was door dashing.
Hey, line for line, ain't no comp in this rap neither.
You waiting line for line and keep doing numbers. I gave him the game, trust we lit for the summer. Got doctors and artists and athletic speakers. Come learn from my come up, I'm better than P. I'm in love with the grind. I'm in love with the culture. Do this for the fam. Do this for Kenosha. You know I got you, Kenosha. If you got the vision, then come a little closer. Let's get it together. Line for line with the soldiers. I'm in love with the grind. I'm in love with the culture. Do this for the fam.
All right. Just like that, we're back in another very special episode of Line for Line podcast. I'm your host with the most, Devon Booker. We have a very special guest in the building. This guy beats me up every day, guys. So when you spam the comment section, make sure you let him know how bad of a guy he is. But we have Mr. Ian G in the building. Ian, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. You?
I'm actually doing pretty good on this fine young Saturday. It's all about you, though, young man. It's not even about me anymore.
Oh, man.
It's all about you. But the most cliche thing we like to do when we start a Line for Line podcast, just tell us a little bit about you. What got you started into the training world? Just tell us a little about that. I'll ask you questions along the way.
Got you. Well, I mean, I've done fitness my whole life. I grew up doing gymnastics from like 5 to 19, so I got a lot of years under that. And it's just something I was around for a long time. You know, my dad did some training and everything.
No way.
Still does that. Not training as a trainer, but he works out. You know, he's very religious with that. And it's kind of just brought me into that slowly. And so I was working at a gym as a janitor, and there was personal trainers I would always talk to, you know, just on shift talking to people. And something I was kind of interested in before, but I didn't know if I wanted to jump the gun. And kind of just did it. So got a certification and started personal training at the rec. And then that was a couple months. That was late January. And a couple months later, I actually started at Burn Bootcamp. And, you know, it's been a wild ride since then, but I love every minute of it. And so you invest into it and invest back in you. So
yes, sir.
I appreciate it.
Now, just tell us a little bit about what type of child you were growing up. Were you into sports? Were you into fitness, travel? What? Just tell us a little bit about that.
School wasn't really my thing. Say that right off the bat, but I enjoyed just, you know, hanging out with my friends, and a lot of my friends were part of gymnastics. So, you know, we spent 3 hours a night practicing. We'd be with each other outside of practice too. So it was kind of just, you know, I was doing my own thing, staying in my own lane really, and I was in my own bubble for a long time. You know, just go to school, go to practice. And that was kind of it until you start to work. I coached those kids at Scamps where I did gymnastics for a while. I coached them for 3 to 4 years in high school, and then actually went off to college to do gymnastics. They ended up working out. It's all right, though. But it's kind of what brought me here anyway, so grateful for it.
Yes, sir. Now, a lot of people at home, and know me and Ian, we actually met at the Recplex in the sauna before we met at Burn Camp. Just tell us a bit about what that was like for you when you were at the Recplex before you got to Burn.
Right. So it was obviously a slow start, and I knew it was going to be a slow start too, but I started in January, so there's clients funneling in and out, especially at the Recplex, you know, everything like that. But it was a real test to see how bad I wanted it. You know, you got to go out and you got to do it yourself, and they help you along the way, and they'll help you with those clients and everything. But you got to do it, you know. And so it was a process. Not only be able to individualize like a workout for somebody that you have never seen before in your life, you know, and you gotta really deep dive into it. But it allowed me to, you know, just up my game as a whole. You know, I've trained people that I didn't even imagine training. So it's nice. It's honestly nice because it invests back in you. You're able to get a whole new perspective on just how appreciative you can be for it.
Of course. Now, can you just take us through your approach once you meet your new client? What's your pitch? Hi, I'm Ian. Just tell us a bit about that.
Talking about Recplex
or either any. Just like when you meet your new client, just take us through that approach on how you get them welcome and how you ease them into what to expect when working with you.
Yeah, so when I was doing just personal training at the Recplex, it was more of, you know, just getting to know them and why they're actually showing up. And that translates really well to Burn Bootcamp too. So I didn't have a process at the Recplex. Honestly, I didn't. You know, I was brand new, and there was no process at all. So when I stepped into Burn Bootcamp, they had a process already, and it helped me a lot because then I was able to add my touch to that process a little bit. And so basically, when we have new people come in, you know, first thing we're asking for is just like why did you actually show up? Because there's always a reason why. Like, you're actually showing up to the gym. It's scary to walk into the gym. Nothing about that is easy, especially if you've never done that in your life, or if you did do it and you fell off for a couple of years. There's not an easy way to walk through the doors. No, obviously you have give and take between people walking in. Some people love it, they're just there for a workout, and that's what you'll give them, right? But people who are a little bit shyer, you gotta work with them a little bit, right? And you gotta meet them where they're at. But that's the best thing about it, honestly, because then again you can get that new perspective on,
Of course.
where they're coming from. You can just meet them where they're at, and I mean, yeah.
I think that's the hardest part too. When you say walking in there, I told someone before too, for the longest time, I would always sign up for the trial at Burn Bootcamp, and I would always be like, I'm not going to do it. I'm scared. I'm scared. Like, I would always sign up, but then when the day get there, I would be scared to go. What would be your piece of advice for people who are scared to go in to try training, whether it's Burn Bootcamp, the Recplex, wherever?
Well, I mean, we preach this a lot on social media, in the gym, outside of the gym, but that first step is going to be hard no matter where you take it, right? No matter if you're taking that first step to not even doing something, or if you're taking that first step to invest in yourself, it's going to be challenging no matter what. But that's the hardest day right there.
Of course.
Like that first day, you got the jitters going in, you're nervous going in. But once you do it and you get a feel for it, it's that second day, yeah, you're going to be a little sore, of course, but that's the point of it, right? But that second day you come in, you're going to feel a little bit better about it. That third day you come in, you're going to feel a little bit better about it. And if you keep building from there, and you take the time to invest into it, it'll invest back into you. And it's nice to be able to see that from a trainer side too.
Of course.
Because you see them kind of break out of their shell and really start to just open up about the whole process of actually just going to a workout, 45-minute workout, but there's a lot that goes on in there. So you can use it as a tool to whatever it means to you in your life. So,
of course.
yeah.
Of course. Now, the $1 million question. How did you transition and how did you get into Burn Bootcamp is what the world wants to know. That's $1 million question right there.
Props to Monica. Monica BA in Kenosha. I was personal training at the rec. I wasn't making enough money to be able to support myself. So I was door dashing. And in fact, that day I was on the phone with, before I actually started door dashing, I was on the phone with the plasma center because I needed some extra cash. I needed to come up with cash right now. And I was like, I know you can make some cash, donating plasma, right? So I got off the call and I was at Chick-fil-A and I got an order. And I'm like, I kind of know where this place is a little bit. And funny enough, Burn Bootcamp was on my whiteboard and had a question mark next to it.
No way.
Yeah. So when I got back from college in Idaho, I spent a year in Idaho. When I got back, I put it on the whiteboard. And months later, this happens, right? I'm in Chick-fil-A door dashing and I get a DoorDash to Burn Bootcamp. So I'm like, it's on my whiteboard. I might as well check it out. Talk to her good 30, 45 minutes. And we just got to just chatting about, what's going on in Burn Bootcamp, what's going on with my personal training. Told her I was a personal trainer, everything like that. Because I wanted to just see what they were about. And, she was a BA. She was doing her job. But at the time, I didn't know that. I just thought we were having a conversation. So that's another thing that's nice about Burn Bootcamp. They really just are there for the person who shows up, and that's a nice thing. But so that brought me in, and actually Max Agopian, I know you know who that is, the man himself. He his now fiance Sarai, her little brother, I worked with at the rec place.
Okay.
So he was constantly pushing me to go to the rec or go to Burn, and I'm like, man, I don't know if I want to do this.
To work out or to train?
To train.
Okay.
Train. And he was like, I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. I just started here. Let me see if I can get my footing down. And I ended up just going to a camp, that first day. I just went for the first day. I took that first step and I was like, okay, I kind of like what's going on here. And I had been looking for, I guess that I had an itch for a competition, honestly, for quite a while. And it wasn't a competition there by any means, but it was able to step outside of my comfort zone when I'm not making the workout. And, somebody's right there with you. There's a whole another trainer right there with you, still teaching you things. You're always going to be a student of the game, man. Long story short, DoorDash order got me in the door, but there's been a lot that's happened after that.
Of course.
Yeah.
What would you say has been the most proud moment since you've walked into that door and you've become a pivotal piece in the training at Mount Pleasant and other camps as well, too? Because I see you just yesterday, you were at Kenosha being the trainer. Just tell us a little bit about that.
You get these days, and you get these not even days, but just camps where you impact somebody and it made a huge impact on not just the day, not just that camp right there, but it made an impact that's going to stick. and you kind of just, when it happens, and you can feel it almost. And it's those days I'll walk up to the BA, I'll walk up to Megan, my GM, who they're working hand in hand, and be like, yeah, that's why we do this. So we have that. It's not all the time, but when you get those special ones, it's like it means a lot to not only the trainer but the member too, and you get that connection right there that doesn't break, honestly. So.
I'm pretty sure it has to feel good for you every day when you have people coming to you after camp say, you're helping me change my life, and you're helping me cultivate these defining moments. I'm going to be able to share these with my family. Like just yesterday, I was at the camp yesterday, and they come to me and say, your daughter was in here doing burpees. She says that she's been watching dad, and she's trying to keep up with dad and everything like that. Just tell us a bit about what goes through your head when you do get stories like that, when they're saying, Ian, I wasn't able to do double unders at first until you helped me, or I wasn't able to do burpees until you came in and you helped me with that.
I mean, really, as a trainer, you're just doing your job. But if you have that personal touch and you genuinely care about it, they feel it too. And if they feel that, and if they feel that you care about them, and you care about, the progress, and you believe in them, honestly, because all of our trainers believe in our members. And actually, we were just talking about that today, but that's really what builds that connection right there. And when they come back and they give you the feedback after you just murder them, pretty much, like you give them just the full thing in and out of that 45-minute workout, and they come and thank you after. It's like, you don't expect it, but at the same time, it's something that's super nice as a trainer. It fills your trainer cup. It fills your cup as a person too.
Of course.
Yeah.
Now, just tell us a little bit about your mindset when you're out there on the floor and you're running the camp. Just take us through a day in the life of Ian on the floor.
So I'm still very new to this thing. I just started training in May, like my first full camps. But with that, I'm still auditioning to be their trainer, honestly. And this has been something that's been on my mind a lot lately, because I don't want to get comfortable and get caught in the groove of just coming in and doing my thing. I want to constantly just be a student of the game. And, I still want to earn their respect every day that I'm there. And that's something that was, we talked about a lot with Max and Cody. When they were training me to be a burn trainer, it's something that they drilled in there, and it's really stuck. And I've appreciated every minute of that, because it allows me to appreciate, every camp I'm going to train every camp like it's my last camp. Pretty much, like, this could be my last one. I'm gonna go all out for it, and it allows you to appreciate every little moment in there. And I'm still auditioning to be their trainer. Pretty much, that's the mindset going in.
Can you just speak to the camaraderie that you have with Cody and Max out there in the racing area?
Yeah. I mean, they're one of a kind people that I've been blessed with, and I mean, the entire leadership team, the entire Burn Bootcamp team is just amazing as a whole. But they really took me in as one of their own, and I've just, how they've kind of grew me into not just a trainer, but a man. And that's one of the first things they preach to. We don't want to just like be a good trainer. We want to be a good man too. And, as a 20-year-old, hearing that it's
20.
Yeah.
Young puppy, not to cut you off, young puppy.
I hear it all the time. Don't worry about that. But, just the care that they put into, you're able to put into the members with that, and it translates a full circle translation to where, they're still doing it to this day, and I'm still asking questions to this day, and it's the back and forth conversation that we have is so valuable, even if it's something small. So I'm appreciative every time that it comes around.
What would you say has been the most rewarding part of your job that you've experienced so far?
I would honestly say when we get those small moments where it's like, yeah, this is why I do this job right here. This is why I'm a trainer. And honestly, I enjoy just being able to help people in general. Like, that's something that just helps me and fills my cup. And when you're able to do that, and you fill their cup too, and I mean, you like fully fill their cup, it's just the back and forth right there. It hits you a little bit. Of course.
But yeah, as we know, like, as humans, we have our on and we have our off days as well too. What would be that piece of advice that you would give to that member who's not feeling so hot right now? They're feeling they're not reaching their goals. They're feeling they may not be losing weight or may not be gaining the weight that they want. What would be that piece of advice that you would give to them to help them stay focused?
Yeah. Those are the days that really matter. Honestly, the days that you don't want to be there and you still show up. If you don't even feel like there's something going on right now. We were just talking about this today. The effort that you're putting forward, those small choices that you're putting forward every day, you keep taking that step forward. Those are the things that build up into that big reward, right? Yeah, it's a reward whatever that end point is, and most of the time it's not an end point.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever that does come around to where it's like, okay, now I appreciate this small moment and this small moment, you're able to look back at it and appreciate those small moments. Well, if you're able to be present in the moment and live in the moment, you're able to enjoy a lot more of it, you know. And so when you don't feel like anything's going on, what I like to do is I like to take a step back and really look back at how far I have come.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and every person can do that, because you should be proud of who's sitting here today. And we were talking about that yesterday, but I mean, that's a huge thing, because no matter if you're on or not right now, there's gonna be seasons in life, and that's it. I mean, you can't control it sometimes. You could be putting your best effort forward and it's not coming back, but it will come back. You know, you're building something. You're building something, even if it doesn't feel like it right now.
Of course. Now, what would be that piece of advice that you would give to someone who says, I'm scared to try Burn Bootcamp? Because I get that all the time. I'll tell friends, family, come give it a try. Come give it a try this. No, you guys go hard in the paint. That is too scary for me. What would be that piece of advice that you would give to help them get a better understanding of what it actually is?
Well, we will always have a modification to the workout. So, we'll give a baseline. We give the baseline workout, and we'll give a modification to that. Modification doesn't mean you're modding down or anything. It just means it's an alternative exercise that works best with your body.
Mm-hmm.
You can have a completely fit body and something doesn't work with you, right? There's not going to be, not every movement is meant for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just an alternative. So, and we really take the effort to meet you where you're at. We had a girl who can't use her hands today, right? So we're doing a lot of cardio with her feet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you can't do something with your feet, we're doing a lot of stuff with your hands or your core. I mean, your core can always get stronger. There's always something you can do in the fitness realm specifically that's going to be able to benefit you in some way.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, no matter where you're at right now, no matter like how long ago you trained, you're able to come in and just take that first step. Honestly, if I were to give you one piece of advice, it would just be walking in the door. You know, we took a lot of effort to be able to meet you where you're at. If you just come in, you know, you'll be able to see that in full effect too. So,
and I'm the walking testament to that. Seriously, like I said, I was scared to go.
Some work.
I was scared to go, but then once I finally did, just say, you know what? Who cares if someone's gonna laugh at me or whatever the case may be? Who cares? I have to do this for me. And I went, and I'm in love with Burn Bootcamp. I go 6 days out of 7 days. I run after camp. Burn Bootcamp is that place to be. As we get ready to close out this phenomenal episode, is there anyone that you would like to give a shout out to that helped you along the way, maybe kept you motivated? I know we shouted out Monica. I'm pretty sure there's other people who helped mold you into who you are today.
I mean, even before Burn Bootcamp, there's obviously been people in my life that have made an impact. Mm-hmm. But at Burn Bootcamp, just the people who are around me on a day-to-day basis or a week-to-week basis, you know, my team who have around me, Stacey and Becca, you know, I came in as this kid who didn't know anything about Burn Bootcamp, and they were patient with me. So, and I appreciate every bit of that. You know, Sean, Jason, the whole leadership team, Peyton, Lisa, they all took time to just, again, meet me where I'm at and grew me into the person I am today. And it's made a tremendous impact, not only in my life, but I'm able to translate into other people. And then, of course, like Cody, Max, even Max's brother, Luke, like they've all, even if it's been a small moment, they've all made an impact. And I appreciate every bit of it. And they still do to this day. And
and that's just good to hear that they meet you where you're at, from the top to the bottom, from the members to the staff as well, too. Yeah. That has to be a pretty good feeling that you were welcomed with open arms like that, right?
Yeah, of course, man.
That's so cool. Yeah. But how much would you say you have been able to give back from Burn with all the knowledge that you have in fitness?
I hope I'm able to give back, honestly. So I don't actually know how much I've been able to give back, but that's my effort. On a day-to-day basis. You know, I hope I can make an impact on someone's life like how they've made an impact on my life, honestly. And if it's just a little bit of what they've done for me, members, leadership, you know, just the support around me, if I can just give a little of that back, I know it makes me feel good. So if I can make them feel good like that, that's really what it's all about. You know, but not just building you as fitness realm, but building you as a person too. Yeah.
Of course. Ladies and gentlemen, that's been Ian G. I'm your host with the most, Devon Booker. That's another episode of Lineforline Podcast.
You calling or you listening, tune in every week. Line for line. Oh yeah, I'm going lifeline.